Good afternoon, Ponaganset, and welcome back to the WPHS Sports Report. Today we are covering girls basketball, as this is the last episode of the winter season. So, Josh, how have we been doing with girls basketball?
Oh, well, Mrs. Grundell kind of stole my intro, but yes, they are state champions. They did really well this season. Fantastic. Finished 25-4 overall, their score anyway. Now, the state tournament, we'll just go through this pretty quickly. They faced the Lincoln School earlier this month. LaSalle Academy, very close game, but they pulled through. They did really well. That could have been the end of the season, but it was not. They held on for the win. Then Portsmouth again for the third time. We saw them earlier in the divisionals, and we kind of swept the floor with them again. And then, of course, the Division I title. Moses Brown, you've probably heard, I've talked a lot about them. We saw them earlier this season. They beat us by 20 at their place. They came here, they beat us by 7. I was nervous a little. I don't know how the girls felt or the coaches, but I imagine that, especially in the crowd and whatnot, there was probably a little nervousness going into this game about who was going to win, how we were going to do it. But the girls kept their cool. They were really composed. They made a lot of great plays. Very strong defense and offense to come home with the win. In overtime, by the way. It was a very tight game. So I just wanted to go over the players. Not all of them. We don't have a lot of time here. But just some big players. Maren Nerney all season long has been very impressive on the offensive end, coming in with 12, 13, 14 points on average, sometimes getting up to 18 or 19 per game. So she's critical on the offensive end. She's also one of our taller players, so she's great on the rebounding end. We need her for that. She had one of the tougher jobs tonight. She was playing Lauren Busquet, the biggest player. She was Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Rhode Island. So she had a big job that she and another freshman handled pretty well. The idea was to contain the situation, which I think she did very well. She also had 12 points, so that really helped as well. Strong season by Maren Nerney. As for her sister, Anastasia Nerney, in my opinion, and I've probably sounded like a broken record because a lot of people have said it, best defensive player in the state. Very, very strong. She makes a lot of great plays. She sees the floor well. Sometimes, I don't know how she gets from one end of the court to the other, but she's there to stop the three, take away the drive, prevent everything that could go wrong in that game. Big plays all across the board. Great supporter on the floor. We really need that sometimes through the lows and highs. She's generally very optimistic, and it's really important for us. Our freshmen, because we had an extremely strong freshman crowd this year. Malia Ellis had 11 points this game. She's a very, very intense player. She really gets after it. I remember I was watching, the ball was going out of bounds. She grabbed it, turned right around, and shot it. Went right in. So she doesn't take no for an answer. She really goes after everything. Maybe she fouls a bit more than she should, but it's aggressive defense. She really plays hard, blocking the ball here, big plays on the offensive end, very fast, very physical, aggressive, everything that you want to see in a basketball player. I think going forward, our freshman group could possibly win another state title. We've got a great group of players. I really want to talk about Zoe Thorpe because she had that other tough job along with Maren of containing Lauren Busquet, who had 42 points. But she did a really strong job, was very physical with her, forced her to work to get the ball, which really slowed down their offense, took them out of their rhythm. She was critical on the defensive end in containing the situation down low. Very aggressive, boxed out, fought for it a lot. She also kept her composure. Towards the end of the game, she had a lot of foul shots that were very important. She hit all of them. She went 100% from the line, kept her cool like a lot of the other girls. And on the offensive end, had some big deliverances, but on the foul line and the defensive end, I think we really saw some big plays. She was not the player of the game, but it was a toss-up between her and Javiana Steck, who I'll get into. She on the defensive end, Javi on the offensive. On that note, as I said, Javiana Steck was our MVP of the game for Ponaganset. She had a lot of really big plays, especially on the offensive end, some big steals, big threes. I think the most important part that we need to recognize is that she had critical baskets at critical moments. when we were getting down on ourselves or Moses Brown was starting to run away with the game a little, these big steals and baskets were really important in kind of raising our morale, moving the game along, getting the players back into it, carrying them to the next basket. And that was a lot of them. Malia, Marin, Javi, these big, big shots that really carried us through the game. Juliana Bikini, another big player on our team. She's generally the point guard, but she sees the floor well, tries to get the ball around, takes a lot of aggressive chances with the ball trying to get to the hoop, which is important in big games like this. Sometimes you have to take risks. You got to go to the hoop. Other times, you got to slow it down, but she did both pretty well. Some big baskets during the game, but generally just a team player during this particular game. Really worked to make sure that everybody was working hard. Not featured here, unfortunately, I couldn't find photos that weren't copyrighted. Elena Maldani, Caitlin Simino generally make great decisions with the ball, which is critical in a game like this. Big shooters, threes, twos, everything in between, make great plays. Everybody needs their breaks, but they always get back into it. They're always looking to push and get the ball up the floor, really capitalize on the offensive end. They were critical components of the game as well. Now, just quick season highlights. I could go through all their stats, but that would take quite a while, and there's a lot to get through there. But just as far as the season highlights go, Anastasia Nerney, second team All-State, first team All-Division. Mara Nerney, third team All-State, first team All-Division. She had a big year. Caitlin Simino, Juliana Bikini, second team All-Division. Big games for them. And Elena Maldani, third team All-Division. These are all of our starters. I think it's important to note that they all made it, that they were all worthy of recognition on the state level. And I think that's very important, and it really shows a lot for what our team is capable of doing, of taking on the best teams in the state, coming out on top again and again and again.
Thank you so much, Josh. It's been an exciting season, and congratulations to the girls basketball team. And now we will be sending it over to Zoe with a special interview with some of the members of the team.
Good afternoon, Ponaganset. My name is Zoe Fairbanks, and I'm here with Anastasia Nerney, Javiana Steck, and Elena Muldowney. These are some girls on our basketball team here at Ponaganset. We're going to start with Anastasia Nerney. So she's a senior here. What did it feel like after the win over Portsmouth on Saturday?
The win after Portsmouth was definitely very exciting. It's hard to beat a team 3 times. We had beaten them twice in the regular season. The last time we had faced them, we only won by 5. It was a really tough game. It was going back and forth, so it was stressful, but coming out with the win after was really exciting.
All right. What were your thoughts and emotions as the overtime ended on Sunday?
Well, I had fouled out, so I was coming off the bench. So, they got a 3 to kind of end the game that could have tied it. So watching that hit off the back rim and not go in was just extremely exciting, knowing that the game was over and that we had won a state championship. It was surreal. It was going to be a really hard game, so coming out with the win was just amazing.
All right. How is this different from your freshman year?
So my freshman year, we had a heavy upperclassmen team. We did have 2 sophomores that played, but we had a bunch of seniors and a couple juniors that also played. So I would say the biggest difference was how young we were this year. I think a lot of people didn't think we could win it because of our inexperience in big games like that, but I think they learned and they really came through for that game.
Great. How is this team different from your other years?
I think the same type of thing. We normally have a heavy senior class, or at least a lot of upperclassmen that have been here. We run an offense that not a lot of teams run, so it can be difficult coming in as a freshman and trying to pick up the culture of the team. So I think that's the biggest difference, is how fast the freshmen picked it up and were able to play in big games.
All right. So what do you think the future holds for you?
Do you mean like for me or for the team, like at Ponaganset?
For you.
For me? Well, I'm going to University of Hartford next year to play soccer. I'm hoping to, go to law school eventually, but I'm excited to be a college athlete and see where that takes me.
All right. So next we have Elena Muldowney. She is a junior here, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What were your goals for this season?
My goals for the team was to obviously make it to the championship and just win it. To qualify for playoffs was obviously the first thing, but then to make it and to win it was good.
All right. What was your role on the team this year?
I didn't really have a huge role. It was just kind of whenever he put me in, I just did whatever. I just went with the plays.
All right. And what was going on in your mind when the clock ended on Sunday?
I was excited. It was good to see, Anna said, when that shot missed. And it was just a really exciting game the whole time because we went into overtime.
All right. So next we have Javiana Steck. She's in 9th grade here. As a freshman, what were your thoughts coming into the season on what your role would be with this team?
So coming into the season, I really didn't think my role would have been as impactful as it was. But, throughout the year, I feel like I proved myself and he put me in the game more, and I feel like I made, a pretty big impact.
What were your goals for the season?
My goals for the season were just contribute in any way that I could, whether that was defense, offense, just helping bring the energy, and I feel like I accomplished those, and especially winning the state championship, getting MVP. I really didn't expect that, and it's exciting.
That was exciting. When did you start to feel more comfortable with this team and everything going on here?
I think at the beginning I was a little nervous. I wasn't as comfortable, but as we played more and more games and I got more playing time, I really bonded with this team and learned the offense and the way we ran things, and I adjusted well, I think.
And what were you thinking when the overtime clock ran down on Sunday?
When that clock ran down, that was the best feeling. Especially going into overtime. It was a stressful game, and it was just it was stressful. So the amount of relief that I felt and the whole team felt, it was really surreal.
All right. With that being said, we're going to finish off our last sports report of the winter season. Have a great day, Ponaganset.